Good evening. I'm Elizabeth Taylor.
And I'm Liberace.
As AIDS activists, we believe in just saying no to hysteria and just saying yes to anger.
Because there's lots to be mad about.
But also lots to be proud about.
Mad about the criminal negligence of the government, the media, the medical establishment, the pharmaceutical companies.
Proud about the groundswell of grassroots AIDS work in communities across the country.
We feel it's time to fight back, and that's what all these tapes are about, right, Liz?
You bet, Liz.
Liz.
Lee, artists and access producers from all over the country sent us their work. So if the show seems frantic and rushed, well, it's because there's so much to say.
So let's start with the media. For many of us, it's been enemy number one.
The Sunday People printed 2 photographs of Kenny Ramsar, a gay man who was dying of AIDS. According to this newspaper, these pictures revealed the disturbing truth about AIDS sickness. It seems that the Sunday People has taken up a question which has troubled the medical profession since the last century. How does one form a true picture of an illness? The media's answer to this question is similar to the solution which was first suggested by medical science. Identify and isolate certain social groups, and then describe them as being inherently ill. Yet again, the media is painting menacing pictures of homosexuals. It should therefore come as no surprise that when a reporter is sent in search of the homosexual in his heartland, he is only sighted at a distance, in dark corners like an exotic creature which shies away from the light. Perhaps this reporter, like the medical profession itself, doubts whether there is enough light to get a picture. Fortunately for him, Kenny Ramsar was brave enough to emerge from this twilight world to sit under a photographer's light. And so we get 2 pictures. But in this newspaper, the photograph of Kenny, which was taken by a friend, becomes a picture of a homosexual. And the photograph which was taken by a journalist becomes a picture of a disease.
We're on the air.
Oh, good evening. I have 2 questions for Dr. Mason. One is, if we had no more drug addicts using dirty needles, if we had no more people engaging in anal intercourse, would that wipe out this disease in a relatively short number of years in America?
I'm interested in knowing what's going to happen to my kids, and we've got to do something about it.
The public will react in 5 different ways, in very, very unpleasant ways.
They've agreed to try and isolate this person.
Tomorrow we'll have sunny skies, but chilly temperatures in the low or mid-20s.
Okay. In the latter part of paragraph 10, Reagan says, "We know some facts already, the cold statistics. But I'm not going to read you gruesome facts on how many thousands have died, or most certainly will die. I'm not going to break down the numbers and categories of those we've lost, because I don't want Americans to think AIDS simply affects only certain groups. Well, on the surface, this might seem to have a certain amount of altruism to it. Yet if we look below the surface, we'll see that just the opposite is true. The current administration has shown a consistent and constant disregard for the lives of minorities, for blacks, women, Latinos, gays, lesbians, and the poor. Could it be, in part, his desire not to break down the gruesome facts, not to break down the categories, is not to speak their names? Because to speak their names, gays, lesbians, blacks, Latinos, the poor, is to have to recognize them as legitimate populations important to the operation of this country. It's of paramount importance to realize that Reagan never once utters the word gay throughout his entire speech. For to speak their name, gays, would have to be to recognize them as legitimate populations in need of recognition. This is a perfect example how people's lives are negated and their experiences are completely forgotten through omission from the record.
Because the healthcare system is a disaster. People are dying on the street, and the mayor keeps passing the buck to state and federal government. It's a city problem. AIDS is everyone's problem. It affects the healthcare system, and that affects everyone. That's why I'm here. I think it's about time I put my body on the line.
Hey, hon, how do you feel?
I feel good. It's a nice day. It's warm. It's a good group. Lots of energy. I feel great.
Pretty scared, but being HIV positive, I don't have much choice in that. And I'm doing this for everybody I know. And for myself.
I just love all these people, and I think that what we're doing is really right. And I mean, listen to this, and look at all the people. It's just really wonderful, and it's worth putting myself on the line.
There is no accurate diagnosis. There are incentives in the city hospitals not to diagnose people with AIDS, and therefore people don't get treated. We are angry at the way this city has handled this crisis, and we demand that Ed Koch exert leadership and declare a state of emergency.
Get out of here. What? Can we send one support person to get more media people so that Amy feels more comfortable?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, wait. He still expressed a concern about our safety with a cop. Is there anyone else who feels that being the first group, we may be in danger of more violence than usual?
I think because the media is here, the chances are we talk before there's less chance of being attacked by the cops.
When the cops are pulling, which way do we face? Okay, we're gonna go. Right. Okay, which way do we face, girlfriend? This way or that way? That way.